What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Uncle Fred back in the house again. One more again, want to get back, give you some content. Please hit that like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, hit that notification. Be a part of the Uncle Fred experience. Guarantee you will not be disappointed. So listen. A couple things want to go over with you with the NFL season. NFL season is in turmoil right now because of a lot of the Omicron. I know I ain't pronouncing that right. Variant that's going on is wreaking havoc. According to Tom Pelissero, who's a writer, there was as many as 51 cases last week. And I think the Washington football team had about 20, 21. I think Cleveland had about 18. I think the Rams had about 20. Hence, they moved their games to Monday and Tuesday. Okay. The Cleveland Raiders game moved from Saturday to Monday, and the Rams Seahawks moved from Sunday to Tuesday, and the Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles moved from Sunday to Tuesday as well. And I'll give you just a synopsis of those games as they were being played and some things I saw with those games, and we'll go on. But anyway, and then as it relates to last week, from last week to this week, it is believed that as many as 200 people, 200 football players in the NFL have tested positive. Okay, that's roughly 1/10 of the league. That's why they had to move games. Okay, see when it was one out of every 30, maybe 3 guys on the team, something like that. League wasn't doing too much. But when it gets to that many, you got one team that's got 20 and you can't field with 30 players. That's serious. That's serious. So, and see what I like about the NFL, I know they said one thing at the beginning of the season, we're not gonna do it, but they weren't thinking about this Omicron variant. They weren't thinking about nothing like that was gonna come in, because they're basically thinking that this thing was rounding third heading home. But it kind of funny thing happened on the way to the market, huh? So, but what I like about that is just like I was telling you on our last video, this protocol is a living document, just like our Constitution is. You make a Constitution, you make amendments that changes as the conditions change. See, anybody that says that they're going to be one way, regardless, and don't take into account the changing of surroundings, changing of circumstances, those types of things. The smart people make changes when changes is due. That's one thing about life you can always bank on is going to be change. So I'm glad they did that. They changed. They've ramped up the protocols in terms of mask wearing. They dissuading any type of indoor meetings in lieu of Zoom and or FaceTime or any of those types of media, and no in-house eating and those sorts of things. So now, one thing I thought was kind of weird, though, and it's just my own personal opinion, just Uncle Fred, just you and me shooting the bull. It just seems funny to me that when you get tested and say you get positive, you don't get tested again for 90 days. Now, I know, for instance, there's different rules for vaccinated versus non-vaccinated. If you vaxxed, then you got you got to miss a few days, and then you got 48 hours where if you get 2 negatives, then you can play. Okay, but the same thing with close contacts. But if you're not vaccinated, if you get close contact, you miss 5 days, and if you test positive, you miss 10 days. Okay, but the thing is, I don't like that you test positive, they don't test you again for 90 days, because I know many times they get the anachloric, monochloric antibodies, and that's supposed to be good for 90 days. But I just think that's just too. I just think you can't. That's a loophole, and I think the non-testing of vaccinated players, on a regular. I mean, maybe you test those that are unvaccinated like every day. You maybe want to test the ones that's vaccinated at least maybe once every week, maybe or 2 weeks. I just think there's some room for them to make some changes and stuff for that nature. But anyhow, thing I want to get over. That's first thing. Something happened this week that just blew my mind. And I'm going to let you hear it. I'm going to tell you, you tell me what you think. You listen real good. And I hope you can hear this. I'm going to turn this up as loud as I can so that's, but I want you to hear this. All right, listen to this.
Look, fellas, I apologize if, seemed like I was a little short with you after the game. Obviously a frustrating game, down 20-0, didn't do anything well enough. I mean, there isn't really much to say at that point without watching the film. Clearly, we had problems in every area. So, there's no simple answer. And, every play could have been better. Every area of coaching could have been better. Every area of playing could have been better. And any of that would have helped. So, not really trying to be short, but honestly, there wasn't too much to say. I don't know that there's a whole lot more to say now, but it's not your fault. It was a frustrating game.
Do y'all know who that was? That's the dude I call the Don Dada of coach. That was Bill Belichick. What have you done with my coach? Who is that, and what have you done with the real Bill Belichick? Did he actually say, hey, look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be short. Bill, that's your middle name is short. I mean, most press conferences, what happened to him? He's been playing well. Right. We're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cleveland. We're on to Vegas. Yeah, we're not talking about that right now. 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 I think I've said all right. Okay, I said I'm gone. That's the Bill Belichick I know and love. Not this softer, gentler, kinder, big. Who are you? Bill, say it ain't so. And look, it's not your fault. What? Bill, it's always the media's fault because they ask you stupid questions in your estimation. Bill? Wow. The apocalypse is on us, man. Bill Belichick is apologizing to the media and actually sounded, dare I say, civil. That's all right there, man. But I know I'm saying my prayers tonight, man. This thing might be wrapping up soon, man. You got Bill Belichick apologizing. Well, I thought y'all might get a kick out of that. Some of the things that happened this weekend. Look, man. Your boy. Now I told you from last week that from here on out, the buys are over. So each week from here on out, it's going to be 16 games, 16 games, 16 games, 16 games. All right. This is week 15. And man, it's only 3 weeks of the NFL season. Because I think you got 17 real weeks, but every team has a bye week. So it's 18 weeks a game. So we got 3 weeks left, man. And this thing is heating up. But anyway, your boy went 11-5. And, a 16-game season, that'll get you in the playoffs. Yeah, that 11-5 will get you in the playoffs. except 2008, that didn't get the Patriots in the playoff when they Tom Brady went down in game one to a blow to the knee and ACL, and they had Matt Castle. They went 11-5, but they didn't make the playoff. That might be one of the first times I've ever seen in my 40 plus years of watching football. I've seen a team go 11-5 and that, but 11-5, I'm claiming going to the playoffs. I'm 11-5 this week. All right. Let me run down the games. We already did the games that was were Thursday. Yeah, we already run those down. The Thursday games, we run those down already. But yeah, man. Trying to find them here. Let's still kind of run together. Let's see here. All right. The Las Vegas Raiders came back, last second field goal by Carson and beat the Cleveland Browns 16-14. And that was the game on Monday. Okay, now the Sunday games, Buffalo beats Carolina 31-14. The Detroit Lions just simply annihilate the Arizona Cardinals 30-12. That game wasn't even close. We're gonna definitely talk about that one. I missed that one. We're gonna definitely talk about that one. Okay. Houston over Jacksonville 30-16. The Miami Dolphins over the New York Jets 31-24. Don't look now, but the Dolphins have won 6 straight games. They was 1-7, now they're 7-7. They're a dark horse to make the playoffs, man. So, good hats off to Brian Flores, Tua Tagovailoa. When they was counted out at 1-7, they just kept grinding, and they done won 6 straight. And not sure who they play this week, but we're gonna do our pick 'em for this next week on tomorrow. Ooh, we might have to do that tonight, hadn't we? We'll do that in another video. And Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Giants 21-6. I already talked about that one. Philadelphia Eagles best the Washington football team 27-17. We'll talk a little bit about that one. The Pittsburgh Steelers come back on the Tennessee Titans. It was 13-3. They come back and win 19-13. Okay. Talk briefly about that one. And then the Cincinnati Bengals beat the Denver Broncos 15-10. The San Francisco 49ers, who've won 5 of 6, beat the Atlanta Falcons 31-13. Green Bay Packers edged by the Baltimore Ravens 31-30. And we definitely want to talk about that one, just how it ended. That was actually a good game, real good game. Okay. And then we got Seattle and the Rams. The Rams beat the Seahawks. What was the score in that game? 20-10. Yeah, 20-10. And the New Orleans Saints beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 9-0. We definitely gonna talk about that one and the fallout from that one. And and on Monday night, the Minnesota Vikings beat the Chicago Bears 17-9. Okay, so first of all, let's look at the games from this weekend. First game, I'm just gonna give you just some info on the Bears and the Vikings. We're just gonna mention that game was on Monday night. I think that was a regularly scheduled Monday night game. NFC North Black and Blue division matchup. Chicago Bears missing about like 9 players. Their whole starting defensive backfield didn't play. Bunch of backups and guys they got off the practice squad and things of that nature is playing against Justin Jefferson. Okay. But Kirk Cousins, in his typical fashion, not ready for prime time. Let me tell you his stat line. Kirk Cousins Kirk Cousins was 12 of 24 for 87 yards and an interception. 2 touchdowns and an interception. Okay. A touchdown to Jefferson in the first quarter. Nice 13-yard pass. Dude gave him the dead leg. Backup safeties and corners, though. But set him up, cut back to the left flank into the corner of the end zone. Pretty pass. And then late in the fourth quarter, short right to Smith. I think it was Irv Smith, if I'm not mistaken, for a 7-yard touchdown. And so they went 17-9. But I'm gonna tell you something. They was up 17-3. The Bears were scrapping, biting, clawing, sound like the Lions. The Minnesota Vikings need their butt whooped for edging by the Chicago Bears with all their ineptness. Justin Fields He played pretty decent. There was some bad calls. Still that 4th down and one that he looked like he didn't know what he was doing and just ran out of bounds. I don't know. Matt, and there's talk about Matt Nagy not making out the end of the season because he's definitely under fire. The Bears had about 5 personal foul calls. The officiating was bad in that game. One of the worst officiated games this side of the Thanksgiving Day game with the Cowboys and the Raiders. Just bad officiating. It got started in I think the first quarter. Tyler Conklin, who's a talented tight end for the Vikings, got unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever you call it, a personal foul, blow to the head. And the announcers even said that's not a good call. And Matt Nagy was on the officials from then for the rest of the game, got him the sportsmanlike conduct for himself because he was complaining too much. But there was a lot of calls, holding calls, pass interference calls that really wasn't there. Don't get me wrong. Bears did not convert. They were 0-4 in the red zone. Fields, he was decent. He was 26 out of 39 for 285 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. They really couldn't run the ball. David Montgomery, 18 for 60. Really couldn't do anything. And the Vikings couldn't really run the ball either. Darwin Cook, 28 carries for 89 yards. That's about 2.5 yards a carry. And get this, Minnesota Vikings won the game with 193 yards of total offense. And 12 first downs, 13 first downs. I shorted them one. My bad. They were just inept in what is decimated as the Bears were on the defensive end, and as many unsportsmanlike conduct penalties that they had. What was the penalty yardage? Did they tell the penalty yardage? No, don't show the penalty yardage. I was gonna tell you the penalty. Yeah, here we go. Bears is 9 penalties for 91 yards. Okay, and like I said, 4 of those was unsportsmanlike, 5, including the coach. But you hold a team to 193 yards of offense and you lose the game. So these are the kind of things that are probably going to get Matt Nagy up out of there. I'm just saying. But they win. They 7-7, and according to Kirk Cousins, this is a brand new season for them. And I think they got the Packers again. They got the Rams, and I think they may have the Bears again. I'm not sure, but they got the toughest last 3-game stretch of all the teams that's vying for playoff spots. So we'll see where they go. But the Bears take another one on the chin and they lose 17-9. Okay. And then like I said, the Cleveland Browns had a chance to win that one. They had about 20 guys out, missing. They had to bring guys from the practice squad. They had a guy named Mullen, who used to play for the 49ers. He was the quarterback. No Baker Mayfield. No Case Keenum. Okay. Lot of guys out, some offensive linemen out, some defensive players out. Kevin Stefanski out. Raiders got out to a 10-0 lead. Okay, and then it was 10-7, then 13-7. Then with about 2 minutes to go, Cleveland, 2.5 minutes to go, Cleveland scores a touchdown late. Mullins threw a touchdown pass. I want to say it was the dude Harrison. And they go up 14-13, and they force Derek Carr to an interception. And all they have to do is get a couple of first downs, and game's over. But they don't. Carr gets the ball back, makes a couple of throws to Zay Jones. Zay Jones was all over the place. Didn't need no PI calls to get him going. And so they end up winning on a last-second field goal by Daniel Carson, 48 yards. And the Raiders win and squeak out a 16-14 win. Okay, and both teams are 7-7. So I don't know what's going to happen with those two teams. To be perfectly honest with you, I really don't. But they lose. The Browns lose. We don't know what the COVID cases that they've got, what they're going to do going forward. But it's tough right now for a lot of teams. So anyway, those are two of the games. The other Tuesday game we'll talk about the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. Look, I'm gonna say this like this. Let me pull up the. Let me pull up the hardware on this one right here, because this is one I really don't know what to make of the Rams, to be perfectly honest with you. I really don't, but they are they're gonna be somebody you'll have to deal with, man. They're gonna be somebody you're gonna definitely have to deal with. Okay, let me find that box score, and I'm gonna tell you what all they did. But I know they won the game 20-10, and over the Seahawks. Now, I don't know what the Seahawks are doing right now, to be perfectly honest. I really don't. I don't know what they're because Russ is not Russ, and I just don't know what he's it's becoming painfully obvious that he's not going to be one of either he or Pete Carroll aren't going to be there next year. That's becoming painfully obvious. Okay, painfully obvious. Okay, but here we go. They won the game 20-10, and of course now Rams scored first on a 39-yard drive. Matt Gay 55-yard field goal to go up 3-0. And then the Seahawks counter with a field goal of their own. Myers 39 field goal, capping off a 7-play 52-yard drive. And then Seattle looked like they were going to take control of the game with Dallas going up the middle for 4 yards. Dallas. Touchdown, capping off 11-play 75-yard drive. And then kick the extra point. There's 10-3. But the Rams come right back, capping off a 6-play, 86-yard drive with a short pass, 6 yards. Cooper Kupp. Talk about Cooper Kupp in a minute. They tied it at 10-10. They stopped them. Russ throws a pick. They come back, and they turned it over on downs. And they come back and they go on an 8-play, 88-yard drive. Matt Stafford, 29 yards. Cooper Kupp catches it, runs away from the defenders into the end zone. Touchdown, 17-10. And then they stop them, and then they get the ball back, and then they just run the ball pretty much, down their throats and make some timely throws, cap off an 18-yard drive, and in 5 plays. take up a minute and a half, go up 20-10. Last dash effort by Russell Wilson, and he throws an interception. And when I talk about Russell Wilson not having a game, let me tell you what he did. Russell Wilson was 17 of 31 for 156 yards and 1 interception. Okay. Matthew Stafford threw an early interception in the red zone that stopped the scoring drive, but he rebounded nicely to go 21 of 29 for 244 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Sony Michel had some nice, tough, hard running, 18 carries, 92 yards. And but the guy I want to talk about in this game is that daggum Cooper Kupp. Look, man, I'm going to say it just like this. I don't care who come at me. I know Devontae Adams is doing what he do, and I know all that. Cooper Kupp best receiver in the NFL right now. Okay. All right. I said that. Now, Devontae Adams might be more talented. But see, it's a funny thing about me. I value how good a player is when talent meets production. Okay. Now, Devontae Adams is going to be well over 100 catches this year too. But I'm going to give you the stat line for Cooper Kupp for this particular game. Cooper Kupp has 9 catches, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. Okay. Do you know that the least amount of yards that Cooper Kupp has had in this season is 64 yards on 5 catches? That's the least amount he's had all season. He's only had 2 games under 90. He's got more games over 150 yards than he has under 90. Let me give you his stat line for the season. They played 13 games, okay? 13 games. They got 3 left to play. Okay, 14 games. They got 3 left to play. I'm sorry, they had 10-4. Cooper Kupp got 123 catches. Okay, 123 catches, 1,625 yards, and 14 touchdowns with 3 games to play. Yeah, you heard what I said. 123 catches, 1,625 yards, and 14 touchdowns. They got 3 games to play. That means Cooper Kupp got a good look at 2,000 yards. Got a good look at 150 catches. He got 123 catches with 3 games to go. That means he needs what, 27 in 3 games? He's averaging about 9 catches a game. I don't care what you say. I mean, he may not be the fastest, but that dude get open. You can't cover him. They be put 2 or 3 guys on him. They put him in the slot. They line him up the backfield. They put him all over the field. You can't cover him. Cooper Kupp needs to be getting some MVP votes. Now, I mean, I don't pom for nobody, but I just know good production when I see it. That Cooper Kupp something else, man. I'm just saying that. Y'all pay attention. That Cooper Kupp something else. There's 2 guys in this NFL that folks ain't talking about. And they talk about MVPs. They're talking about Tom Brady. They're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Talking about them guys. 2 guys I need folks to start thinking about. Think about Cooper Kupp, 123, 1625, and 1652. I'm sorry, 1652 and 14. And JT, Jonathan Taylor, got like 1,519 yards and 19 touchdowns for the Indianapolis Colts. The thing about him, they may not have won enough for him to garner votes for the MVP. They're only like 8-6. If they went out and run the table and go like 12-6, 11-6, I should say, he should get some consideration. Because I mean, I know it has been. It don't always need to be a quarterback award, okay? But Cooper Kupp, man. That boy's something else. So other games. Oh yeah, we definitely got to talk about this right here. So Arizona Cardinals, let the Rams come in there and tough, hard-fought game. I think it was 30-20 last week in Glendale, Arizona. The Rams come in and win a tough game. So it's like, okay, well, they're gonna take it out on the Detroit Lions. And I picked the Cardinals. But funny thing happened on the way to the market. Dropped all the eggs. All the eggs failed. Okay. So Bears. Lions get off to a first start in the first quarter. They go 15 plays, 68 yards. Now that's the thing I do like about the Detroit Lions. Because they're really bereft of talent, other than I think DeAndre Swift, I think he is out. I think they got Jamal Williams and they got Hawkinson, and they got that boy Amon-Ra St. Brown, USC. They got a little bit of talent. Nice offensive line. With the guy they drafted from Oregon, Penei Sewell. They got a nice little offensive line. So they ball control. They ran a 15-play, 68-yard drive, took up 8 minutes. They got a field goal of 37 yards. And then the Cardinals don't do nothing with it. The Lions get the ball back, go 8 plays, 93 yards. Goff, 37-yard pass. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm starting to like that kid because he didn't want to caught the winning pass against the Minnesota Vikings and give them their first win. But he catches a 37-yard touchdown pass and they go up 10-0. Then the Cardinals still can't do nothing with the ball. Lions go 9 plays, 67 yards, 22-yard pass. Josh Reynolds. Before you know it, 17-0 Lions. What is going on? I thought they was favored by like 15. 17-0. Oh, but then the Cardinals get on the scoreboard. They go 9 plays, 64-yard. Matt Prater kicks a 29-yard field goal. Couldn't get in the end zone. 29-yard field goal means down to like the 3-yard line or 10-yard line. And so they couldn't get in the end zone. So then the Lions said, shoot, y'all thought that was a fluke? They go, the next thing, they get, Cabrenda, 6-yard touchdown pass. And before you know it, it's 23-3. And the route is on. The route is on. They kick the extra point. It's 24-3. And for all practical purposes, the game is over. The Cardinals kick another field goal. Matt Prater, 29-yard field goal. They can't get inside that 10-yard line, boy. It's 24-6. So the fourth quarter comes along. The Lions get a field goal. It's 27-6, capping a 10-play, 41-yard drive, 47-yard field goal by Patterson. And then finally, midway through the fourth quarter, Cardinals get in the end zone. Murray, deep pass, Christian Kirk, 26-yard touchdown. And they missed the 2-point conversion. It's 27-12. And then finally, Patterson kicks a 47-yard field goal, capping off a 6-play, 6-yard drive, capping off from a turnover. And it's 30-12. And it wasn't even that close. So when I look at the yardage, the Cardinals moved the football. They had 398 yards of total offense to the Lions, 338. Murray, 23 of 41, 257, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Edmonds, 6 carries for 54 yards. Not that much. Jared Goff, 21 of 26, 216, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Reynolds, 26 carries, 112 yards. Receiving, Amon St. Brown, 8 catches, 90 yards and a touchdown. Reynolds, 6 catches, 68 yards. He's a back coming out of the backfield. And let's look at the team stats. Let's see, is it turnovers, fumbles? Time of possession, Lions had 31-52 to the Cardinals 28-08. First downs about even. Cardinals had 23, they had 22. 126 to 104, 5 rushing yards. Penalties. Yeah, Cardinals had a few more penalties. They had 7 for 83. Didn't lose any fumbles. So I just don't know. What was their third down efficiency? Was they trying to find a reason for what they, sometimes you try to find it, and each team had a turnover. Both teams punted twice. Okay. Lions had one interception. No safeties. Red zone. Cardinals are 0-4 in the red zone. Now that might have something to do with it, in the red zone. Third down, 7-15 for the Cardinals, 6-13 for the Lions. Pretty even. I just think they just got beat, And I think the Lions wasn't scared of them. They just came in and stuck it to them. But that shifts the whole NFC big time right there. The Cardinals now is looking at it like a team. Like a couple of weeks ago, you would have thought they was one of the odds-on favorites to reach the Super Bowl. But you look at them now, and you done lost 2 games, man. Back-to-back to the Rams, which ain't no shame in that, but you lost to the Lions. And it wasn't even close. You got boat raced by the Lions, 30-12. That might be the Lions' most lopsided victory since I don't know, since my man was coaching them. They used to coach the Colts. I can't think his name right now. That may be the biggest lopsided win they've had. But Cardinals, man, y'all got some soul searching to do, man. Y'all 10-4. Y'all down in the 4th place now. 10-4. Lions are 2-11-1. I mean, they still trying to look for that number 1 spot. And they're like, shoot, we're trying to win games, man. So that's the game of the week right there, Arizona. Then you got the Titans visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this game, kind of just like the Rams, not the Rams, but just like the Vikings and Bears game, came down to a team that really had no business winning the game, the Steelers, beating a team that, and let's just face it, the Titans, and that got us all fooled because they beat the Rams, but since then they've lost to the Houston Texans, they've lost to the New England Patriots, they've lost to lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember they was 8-2, so now they are 9-5, so they've won 1 and lost 3, so they're 1-3 in their last 4 games. Okay, without Derrick Henry. Okay. Now I think they're getting AJ Brown back this upcoming week, so we'll see what happens there. But the Steelers won a game where they only had 168 yards of offense. 168 yards of offense, and they won the game. They won a game where the Steelers only had 12 first downs. Okay. Steelers won a game where they only had 35 yards rushing. I think my man Najee Harris had 12 carries for 18 yards. Okay. Ben Roethlisberger was 16 for 25 for 148 yards. 168 yards of total offense. And they win. The Titans had 201 yards rushing. And they lose. Some guy named Dante Foreman, I remember him when he was at Texas, had 22 carries, 108 yards. And Dante Hilliard, I think that's his name. I think it's Dontrell Hilliard. Yeah, that's his name. He had 9 carries for 49 yards. So they ran the football well. 318 yards to 168 yards, 201 yard rushing to 35 yard rushing. 4 turnovers, one interception, 4 fumbles. Get you beat every time. Okay. Titans gonna have to look at what I mean. They free falling right now. And the Steelers, look, man, hats off to the Steelers, man. When you about think they didn't call the dogs in, they found another level, man, and play, because they very easily could have won that game in Minnesota. And you know, them guys play hard for Mike Tomlin, man. You gotta give them they respect, man. They got guys out, defensive guys out. Incidentally, TJ Watt has a couple of sacks and ends up with the sack record for the Steelers, taking it over from James Harrison. Send him a nice little picture message, congratulating him for that. Hats off for TJ Watt, one of my favorite players in the NFL. That's a dog right there, man. And you 3 guys can't block that dude. When he wants to get your quarterback, he's coming for your quarterback. He's missed some games this year due to injuries, and he's in protocols. But he's back. Had a couple of sacks today. I think he's got 15. I think 15 or 16. He has the team lead, the club lead for sacks. So hats off and congratulations to TJ Watt. But the Steelers winning a gutty, hard fought when they were down 13-3. They come back and beat them 16-3. Or 16-0, I should say, because it was 13-3. Steelers moved to 7-6-1, and they're right in the thick of the things in the AFC North. So hats off to the Steelers. Now, 4 turnovers. Then we got the Green Bay Packers at the Baltimore Ravens. Now, really, this was a good game, and Baltimore, scrappy as they are, just like the Steelers, scrappy. They got injuries. Both their starting corners, Marcus Peterson, and Marlon Humphrey, both out. They got some backups and guys in there, and they had decided that they were not going to let Devontae Adams beat them. I think Devontae Adams ended up with like 6 catches for 44 yards. They was double and triple teaming him. And they said, well, we're going to let Marcus Valdez-Scantling get him. He had 5 for 91 and a touch. Mercedes Lewis had 3 for 40. And Alan Lazard, 2 for 23. But the Ravens scored first. Tyler Huntley playing well in the relief of Lamar Jackson. Playing well. He's got a nice long arm. He's got a nice command of the offense. Runs not quite as good as Lamar, but runs plenty good enough. He ended up running the ball 13 times for 73 yards. In addition to throwing it 28 or 40, for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, though. Played a nice, solid game. They was up 7-0. Of course, the Packers come back and tie it. A.J. Dillon, 2-yard touchdown, capping off an 8-play, 84-yard drive, and it's 7-7. Ravens go back on top 13-7 with Tyler Huntley with a 9-yard pass to Mark Andrews, capping 11-play, 58-yard drive, and they're up 14-7. But the Packers come right back. Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams, 3 yards. Devontae Adams in the red zone, really tough to stop, man. But he only had like 5 catches, but he got a touchdown in there. That ties it up at 14. Then the Packers get the ball back, come and go 13 plays, 80 yards. And a 9-yard run or 9-yard pass to Aaron Jones. They go up 21-14. And then, Baltimore, when they unable to get in the end zone, settles for a field goal of 38 yards. Justin Tucker capping a 9-play, 55-yard drive, and it's now 20-17. Then, which I thought was the knockout blow, Green Bay in the fourth quarter, they go 11 plays, 88 yards, 5 minutes and 26 seconds. Aaron Rodgers to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 11 yards, touchdown. They go up 27-7. But one thing about the extra point is good. It's 28-7. But one thing about these Ravens, they don't quit. Packers come right back. And, they held them on downs. They get the ball. They go 5 plays in. I think they turned it over on downs. They go 18 yards, 5 plays, kick a field goal. It's 31-17, okay? So I'm thinking the ball game's over with. Now it's like maybe 5-6 minutes to go in the game. Baltimore does not give up. They Tyler Huntley, you got your backup quarterback in, you down 2 touchdowns to the front runner for this year's MVP. You think they would have gave up, but no, Baltimore made of that right stuff, man. They got that grit. So they go 7 plays, 49 yards, touchdown. Tyler Huntley scrambles up the middle, 8 yards, touchdown. And well, actually, no, Tyler Huntley scrambles left for 3 yards and a touchdown. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. It's 31-24. Then on the next, then with like 47 seconds left in the game, Tyler Huntley scrambles up the middle for 8 yards, touchdown. It's 31-30. But what you think John Harbaugh going to do? Just go back 2 weeks ago when they had against the Steelers and they scored a tying touchdown. What did he do? He went for 2. T.J. Watt blasted the play, made the errant throw by Lamar Jackson, and Mark Andrews couldn't handle it, and they was off. And I think they lost 20-19, if I'm not mistaken. This particular game is 31-30, and they go for 2. And I didn't like the play because they had Tyler Huntley rolling out to his right. And when you roll out to the right, you really shrinking the field down. He tried to force it into Mark Andrews, and it was incomplete. It really wasn't open because you really when you roll out to one side, you really are squeezing the field down, and it really as he kept going further and further towards the sidelines on his rollout, it was obvious that was not going to be a successful unless he reversed field and back the other way and found people going the other direction, going opposite his body. But that play was doomed from the start. And I think they're like 2-8 on 4th down conversion. So that's something that we've been talking about. A lot of the old school, new school folks been talking about the 2-point conversions, the going for it on 4th downs, and all these sorts of things. The gambling, the riverboat gambling aspect of today's NFL. What do you think about it? I just think he's got to play the game as it comes to you. I think right there, I've kicked the field goal. Green Bay's defense is gassed because we done gassed them for 2 straight touchdowns. Heck, we might even get the coin toss and put them right back on the field again, and we can win the game. But they lose. That's the second game that they've lost, and they're 7-6 now, and 8-6. And as the rankings go right now, they're outside of playoff contention right now. They're in like 9th position. They don't make the playoffs this year. They'll come back to this game and the Steelers game. And those games they could have won. They could very easily be 10-4 right now. Okay? Very easily. But they take that one on the chin. Aaron Rodgers, had a pretty good game. He was 23 of 31 for 268, 3 touchdowns, and he don't throw no interceptions. So that's how that goes. So Green Bay squeaks out of Baltimore with a 31-30 win. Okay. And then the coup de grace. This is the one we got to talk about right here. This is another one that I missed. Okay. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Now, I will admit I wasn't even going to watch this game Sunday night because I was like, man, Tampa Bay going to beat them so daggone bad. Tampa Bay starting Taysom Hill. They got a bunch of guys out and stuff. I was like, no, that's not going to be a game really worth watching. So, I didn't even commit to. So I really, what I did, I was watching the replay of the Cowboys game that I recorded, trying to look for stuff so I can make my video on my Cowboy feed. And then I turned over there and it was 6-0. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? But yeah, let's go into this game here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go down 6-0 to the New Orleans Saints, 9-0. Yeah, I didn't stutter. They got shut out, 9-0. The GOAT, Tom Brady, 26 of 48 for 214, no touchdown, 1 interception. Okay. Totally dominated. Don't even think they made it to the red zone. Never threatened to score. Okay. Now, granted, Uncle Fred will try to look at things even and whatnot, but they knocked out Chris Godwin. I think Tom Brady might have alluded to there was some dirty play there. They may have went low on him and did that because he's out for the season. That's definitely going to hurt them. Then later in the game, Mike Evans goes down with a hamstring injury. So he was out for the rest of the game. Then later in the game, in the first half, Leonard Fournette goes down with a knee or an ankle. I think it might have been an ankle. And he's out. And they've since put him on the IR. So he's probably going to miss the rest of the regular season. So they go with Ronald Jones. So Tom Brady, he had, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans for the first half. You remember there's no AB now. AB comes back next week. We'll talk about that too. But he's throwing the Godwin. He had 6 for 49. Tyler Johnson, 4 for 41. Leonard Fournette caught 7 passes for 31. A lot of little dump offs. Gronkowski had 11 targets, 2 catches for 29 yards on 11 targets. Malcolm Jenkins was covering him. Look, man, I know safety you can't really judge safeties by statistics because you just play the middle of the field, you knock down passes. There's no statistics. You don't barely sell them. You catch interceptions. I mean, you get some every now and then. But Malcolm Jenkins might be the best safety in the NFL right now because he's big enough to stick Gronk without getting manhandled, and he's quick enough to beat him to the spot where the balls are being thrown. And he covered him like a blanket. Two catches on 11 targets. Yeah. Okay. So Cameron Brate had 2 catches for no yards. Scotty Miller, 2 catches for 18 yards. And like I said, Mike Evans only had 1 catch for 14 yards when he got hurt. Running the ball, like I said, they had Ronald Jones had 8 carries, 63 yards. He ran a lot in the second half, had some nice runs, but they never really could get in the end zone. Now, you would think that if you held a team to 9 points, you should be able to win, especially if you got Tom Brady behind center. But the one thing that I'm noticing as guys get older, it's happening in the NFL with LeBron James. Everybody wants to make LeBron James this great. He's great. He is great. But at 37, or he's going to be 37 next week, you can't affect the game the same way you could when you was 27. You just can't. You have a good game, but you can't affect the game the same way. Same thing with Tom Brady. At 44, he's still a top-flight quarterback. But the days of him taking me and 3 or 4 40-something-year-olds and a couple of practice squad guys and going out and beating teams, are over. He has to have help now. And it's evident in a game like this. Dennis Allen, who's the defensive coordinator and / head coach because Sean Payton was in the protocol, called a whale of a game. And he seems to have Tom Brady's number. Okay. And what's the thing that's impressive about this is he got Tom Brady frustrated. Tom Brady was seen going to the sidelines, woofing at the officials. Now, I'm going to say this, man. I know everybody loved Tom Brady. I know he's the golden boy. He's 7 rings. Sometimes Tom Brady's behavior be out of control. And they just be winking at it. Whereas guys like my man C.D. Lamb, I know he ain't got no pelts on the wall or whatnot, but they fined him for waving at a guy when he caught the winning touchdown in overtime. This dude is cussing at the official. No flag, probably ain't no fine coming. Went over to the sideline, cussed out Dennis Allen, told him to go bleep yourself. Because he was calling defenses that he couldn't solve. Then Brady went to the sideline and smashed his Surface tablet. So a loser, man. But I know some folks say, "Yeah, show me a happy loser, and I'll show you a loser." But come on, dude, you got to when you won and you beat other folks, you wanted them to show some decorum and some class. You should show some, but they're not gonna say that because Tom Brady is the greatest. He's the greatest. And I'm saying that somewhat cynically, but Tampa Bay gets that win. Dennis Allen, man, great defense. You won that thing with Tyson Hill going 11 for 33, 1133 yards passing, rushing. He won with Tyson Hill going 13 for 27 for 154 yards. Tampa Bay had 302 yards of total offense, and the Tampa Bay defense held New Orleans to 212 yards of offense, including 61 yards rushing. Okay. Held them to 11 first downs. They only kicked 3 field goals, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers didn't even get in the red zone. Okay. So, time of possession, 30 to about even. Fourth downs, 0 for 1. Third down conversions, 6 for 19 for Tampa Bay, and 3 for 16 for New Orleans. And they still won 9-0. First time Brady been shut out since 2006. I think the 14th game in 2006 to the Miami Dolphins. I wonder if you can guess who the head coach of that Miami Dolphins team that did that to him. One Nicholas Saban. That's right. Yeah. But Tampa Bay, man, they kind of free falling too because they got injuries, man. They got injuries. And now you got this controversy with AB, because you know what AB did with the fake vaccination card. That, look, man. Now, for my money, I think Aaron Rodgers should have got suspended for a game too. Not maybe 3 like he got, because the team knew what he was doing, but it's just not a good look for you to be a leader of a team and kind of perpetrating a fraud or whatnot. I mean, come on, dude. Be out front, Be like Kirk Cousins. He's like, I'm not vaccinated. I don't care what you think. But I'm going to go by the protocol. Same thing with Carson Wentz. On the sidelines, got his mask up, his own. We're talking to folks. We'll take that to talk and pull it back up. He does what he's supposed to do. He's in an interview, mask is up. Kirk Cousins, same thing. Lamar Jackson, same thing. Okay? Josh Allen, same thing. The guy, there's a certain way of doing things when you're vaccinated, a certain way of doing things when you're not. You just got to follow the rules. That's all it is. Whether you think they're stupid or not, those are the rules. You knew that. You could have, not said, no, we're not doing it. But you already knew these rules were in place. Can't come midstream and trying to say this ain't fair. We're saying these are stupid. Well, they were stupid back in August, if you thought so. So that's just my thing. And so back last year, when it was when it was broached that they was going to bring Antonio Brown to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and first Bruce Arians, BA said, "Oh no, we're good enough now. We don't need that." But Tom Brady kind of likes it. No, I kind of want it. So Bruce Arians, he had to posture himself. Well, all right, well, he's going to be on a pitch count. If he do anything off, he's out of here. Come back this year, and he done the fake vaccination card thing. Well, that's a fraud. That's a felony. Okay. If anything is a misstep, that's a misstep. So they asked BA about that, and he was like, "Well, we feel like it's the best interest of the team to go ahead and to let him, because we've learned some things last year, and he's grown, and he's impressed us with some of his conduct last year." And we thought he deserved another chance, and we're going to bring him back. And so they asked him, look, dude, you the one that said he's basically flying without a net. It's like, no, it one mess up, you out of here. What do you got? What do you think about folks that saying, hey, you said it? He's like, I don't give a dadgum what y'all think. And he said some more colorful language than that. He says, all I care about is the folks in this room and this team, and that's all I care about, what's going to help us win. What he's saying is, I don't care what I said back then. I know that Chris Godwin is down. I know that Mike Evans might be down for a minute. I know Leonard Fournette is out for the rest of the season, maybe come back for the playoffs. I kind of need AB. So I know what I said last year, October. I know what I said back then, but we didn't have 4 receivers, 3 receivers down then. Now we got 3 receivers down. You know what, man? He learned his lesson. He all right with me, man. Let's let bygone be bygone. What he said is that when push comes to shove, if you a serial rapist, if you can help me win, I'm gonna play you. That's what that means. Oh, it's fine. I'm all for guys trying to win, but don't tell me that you're about character and doing things the right way and all this kind of. At the end of the day, it's about winning. People said same thing about the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, they took a stand. They told Kyrie, look, man, we're not going to have a part-time players. Guys start falling. Guys start getting in COVID protocol. Hey, Kyrie, you know what, man? You can play. You can play part-time. It all comes back to if you can play, you can help me. We'll overlook some guys. Basically, is replaceable, is reliable as he is replaceable. Okay, or he don't have to be no more honest and forthcoming as his replacement value. Sad but true. But anyway, that's all I got for today. And like I said, you're over 11-5. I'm going to shoot another short video here in just a minute. And we're going to do our pick'ems for week 16. What the heck? Week 16. And we're going to make our picks. So that's all I got from Desk Uncle Fred. Y'all be easy. See y'all in the next video.